So neurolinguistic programming, I won't go over this whole thing because I could do like a full hour just on NLP itself. I mean, I studied it for 3 years and it's fascinating. NLP, well, let me use some of the words on here and then I want to see if you have any questions. So it's defined, it was started by two psychologists and professors from the University of Southern California back in the 70s. And it's described as an exploration of the structure of human experience. I mean, that in itself kind of blows my mind. It's like, okay, so the human experience. And it's really like what I said earlier, if you experience one thing, I don't know, the first thing that came to mind right now is that I saw that there was another earthquake in Turkey today. And whenever I hear of a disaster in the world anywhere, my first thought is I think about children. And another person might think about an earthquake. And you might think about structure, building structure, and think about, well, how could that have happened to some buildings and some not? Somebody else might think, what about the city planners? Did they not anticipate this? Or how quickly can we get aid out there? And, so everybody has their own way of thinking and experiencing the world. And what NLP does is helps you dissect it, not just for fun. You dissect it so that you can understand how it is you're experiencing your life. Because if it no longer serves you to experience your life in that way, you have the opportunity to choose something different. Okay, so the second on the right here says it's also a methodology to understand and change behavior patterns, examines the structure of language, and works on a conscious and subconscious level. So you know how some people say, if you're talking to someone and the person says back to you, I hear you. I really hear you, man. So that person is working on a more auditory level. If you're talking to somebody else and they tell you something, or you tell them and they say, man, I really feel you. God, I really feel you. Okay, so that person is working on a different level, and that's how they operate through life. And the reason why I find this study interesting is because if I can get on another person's map, if I can empathize in a way that is the way they feel, then I can have better communications and better relationships with that person. Because if I'm a real feeling kind of person and my partner or my boss or my colleague is more of a doing kind of person, we may have these times when we don't really connect. And if I can better understand where they're coming from and how they think about the world, how they experience the world, then it can help me interact with them in an even greater, deeper way, which is what I like to do.